Hi people, you remember my friend Metrine? Yeah, the one with the many hand gestures.
Best way. This one I messed up because I didn't have the knowledge. So these ones this method is a bit I presume if you want it to work, you have to do it from the top. Slide in from the top right there. But still you have to go that way. That is the old way. Your grandma. You slide the vine and it goes that way into the soil. But
So while at her farm, I realized she's really good with sweet potatoes and she has a variety of them and also different ways of growing them. So I asked her to teach us some of these techniques. We actually decided that we will do some of these techniques and then after a couple of months, we'll come back to see which one gives the highest yield. So the first technique involves making a nice rounded heap and then dipping the vines down the heap. And then you ensure you have covered it with soil. The second technique involves another heap, but this time Metrine made something like a crater and then twisted the vines and then laid them in, then covered them.
ukianza kuteremsha mizizi, you see the mizizi will go down straight and then start expanding, right? And then by the time they are cracking the soil, by the time you see cracks, huko ndani they're so big. You see, like they are healthy, big, and a good size of sweet potatoes.
So the third technique involves forming an elongated heap as opposed to the other two techniques where we were forming rounded heaps. This time we are forming an elongated heap. So Metrine is carefully placing the vines along the space she's created. And then she buries them with plenty of soil. Note that with all these techniques, you only bury the twigs and the roots, you do not bury the leaves. So we'll be back in a couple of months with a weighing scale to see which technique will give us the highest yield of sweet potatoes.
So let's see how this will work. We compare the three. So this is like one mumbi, one head.
Allow me to ask, what hand gestures do you use most to explain your work? Happy farming!